just happy that I was able to play after that, playing such a good tennis, finished the match quite decent, quite good. So,
coming into Tokyo, Carlos Alcaraz had been carrying the weight of expectations heavier than ever before. After reclaiming the world #1 ranking with his U.S. Open triumph earlier in the year, the pressure on his shoulders was immense. Fans in Asia were eager to see him dominate, but behind the scenes, there were whispers that his schedule was too punishing, too reckless, and that something would eventually break. Tokyo wasn't just another tournament, it was his first time playing in Japan, and the buzz was electric. He skipped Beijing, a tournament where he could have padded ranking points, just to play here. That decision alone raised eyebrows. Was it strategy? Was it sponsorship pressure? Or was it simply his hunger to expand his global dominance? Tokyo became the perfect stage, but also the perfect storm.
I will try to recover, to do whatever it takes, to be ready for the next round, to try to play.
From the very first games against Sebastian Baez, there was a sense that something wasn't right. Alcaraz moved stiffly, his footwork looked off, and then came the shocking collapse. He dropped to the floor, clutching his left foot in visible agony, and for a moment, the crowd didn't know if he'd even be able to continue. The medical team rushed in, silence hung in the arena, and millions watching around the world wondered if this was the moment the 2025 season would unravel. His request for a medical timeout was a warning shot, the kind of scene that sparks headlines instantly. Would the golden boy of tennis be forced to withdraw on his Tokyo debut? Fans feared another recurring injury, something that had haunted his young career before. The tension was unbearable, and yet, what happened next left everyone stunned. After several minutes of treatment, his foot wrapped tightly in tape, Alcaraz made the decision to continue. But this wasn't the same lightning-quick Alcaraz the world was used to. He couldn't chase every ball, he couldn't slide into shots with his usual flair. Instead, he had to completely adapt his game. Shorter rallies, sharper angles, and calculated aggression replaced his normal all-court movement. Every step looked painful, but every point became a test of grit. Fans could see the difference. This wasn't dominance, this was survival. And yet, survival was enough to keep him in the match. The turning point wasn't a single shot, it was the attitude. He refused to give in. That resilience alone became the new storyline. With his foot strapped and his movements restricted, Alcaraz relied on raw intelligence and mental toughness. He began shortening points, rushing the net more often, and relying heavily on his first serve. The pain was visible, but he transformed it into fuel. The Tokyo crowd responded in kind, rallying behind him with every scream, every fist pump, every moment he refused to collapse. When rain briefly delayed the match, it gave him a rare chance to recover, and he used it to reset his mindset. He came back sharper, breaking Baez at crucial stages and flipping the pressure back onto his opponent. What could have been an embarrassing withdrawal turned into one of the most inspiring fights of his career. Every set felt like a war, but somehow, Alcaraz was writing his own warrior story. But let's be real, pushing through an injury like this comes with a dangerous cost. Alcaraz has a history of physical breakdowns, muscle pulls, adductor strains, and countless niggling injuries that often come from his explosive style of play. Doctors warn that forcing your body through pain risks long-term damage, especially on hard courts where the pounding is relentless. Fans and analysts alike began asking, was this brave or was it foolish? Some called it a heroic stand, while others feared it could shorten his career. And behind the applause, there was a chilling reality. No matter how inspiring this victory looked, it might come back to haunt him in the tournaments that matter most. Because one win isn't worth losing a season, or worse, a career. Still, what makes this victory unforgettable isn't just the result, it's what it represents. Alcaraz didn't just win a tennis match, he sent a message to every rival, every critic, and every fan. He showed that even on one leg, he can outthink, outfight, and outlast world-class opponents. He proved that his game isn't just built on athleticism, it's built on a willpower that refuses to crack. And in sports, moments like these become folklore. They're replayed for years, etched into highlight reels, and used as proof that champions are forged in pain, not comfort. Tokyo 2025 might not be a Grand Slam, But for Alcaraz, it was a battle that cemented his reputation as more than just a young talent. He's becoming a legend in real time. The victory over Baez sets him up for another tough test. Belgium's Zizou Bergs, a dangerous opponent capable of punishing a physically compromised player. If the injury lingers, that match could become a nightmare. But if Alcaraz somehow manages to push through again, it could set up a deeper Tokyo run that would silence any doubts about his fitness. Beyond Tokyo, though, the questions grow louder. Will his body hold up for Shanghai, Paris, and eventually the ATP Finals? Or will this gamble in Japan become the moment that derails his momentum? The tennis world is watching closely, because every step he takes could determine whether he dominates the rest of 2025 or watches it slip away. What makes Alcaraz's Tokyo win so captivating is that it blurs the line between triumph and tragedy. Yes, he won, but fans are left wondering about the price. Was this a celebration of strength or a warning of fragility? The fact that such questions exist at all shows how much drama surrounds his career at just 22 years old. Every tournament feels like a new chapter in a saga, where glory and disaster hang in perfect balance. And in Tokyo, that balance was on full display, one misstep away from collapse, yet somehow holding the trophy of victory. Carlos Alcaraz walked off the Tokyo court as a winner, but limping. And that image says it all. He's a fighter, a champion, but also a human being with limits that keep getting tested. For his fans, the message is inspiring. He will risk it all to win. For his critics, it's reckless, maybe even short-sighted. But one thing is certain, this Tokyo win will be remembered, not just for the scoreline, but for the courage it demanded. The real question now is simple. Will this be the moment that defines his rise, or the moment that costs him everything? Only time will tell. But one thing's clear, Carlos Alcaraz isn't backing down.